I wasn't expecting to start a video out like that, but here we are. All right, so today we're actually doing something different. We're not doing my original talking about ow, my neck. We're not talking about games that have shut down, but we're here to talk about something, I guess, kind of similar. I guess, sort of, kind of. Anyway, let me start this so I can get these ideas out of my head. So, whenever a game shuts down, I always ask myself, I always ask all of you the same question. Should a game that has lasted for X amount of years just get an offline version instead of them just closing the servers? And shockingly, my answer to that is yes. And the reason why I think that, now for reference, I'm saying only games that have been around for X amount of years, because not every game that's been around should get an offline version if it's been around for, I don't know, a year or months. Games that have been around for a very long time should get an offline version. And this is where I have like 4 contenders. I'll have 5 because there's like some other ones I want to add in here. But we'll start out with these ones, and then I'll probably Google some other ones to have up as reference. But anyway, so yes, games that have been around for a very long time should get an offline version when they inevitably shut down or whatever. Case in point, Puzzles and Dragons. This game has been around for 10 years. Alright? 10 years. This is one of the granddaddies of the gacha games. This game has been around since what? Since it doesn't have the date on here. It's been around for 10 years now. Alright, it's been around for a while. And they have been able to live out a lot of gacha games. Well, they really don't have the they don't have the date, but it's been around for 10 years. It's outlasted a lot of gacha games with its very simple combat system. Let me go back here because I didn't think I was going to use this as an example. But basically, the combat system is you solve puzzles to do damage. So if you match 4 of these, match 4 of those together, you have a fire unit, you do fire damage. And I think the more puzzles you like, not solve, but like the more stuff you connect, it does more damage. It's a it's a 3-match game. So if you match things, you do damage. You match a lot of them, you do a lot of damage. So very simple, very simple. Somehow, this game has been around for 10 years. That's crazy, because I think a gacha game's life, I can't think of the word, lifespan is like 2 to 3 years. Most gacha games don't make it that far. A few days ago, because I don't know when I'm going to post this, but a few days ago, we talked about how Yu-Gi-Oh! Cross Duel shut down. That game was around for like 5 months or so. And like that's crazy to think about, like how some gacha games don't last that long. Like, there was another gacha game that came out and shut down within 2 months. I don't remember the name of it, but yeah, gacha games come and go. No Juice World. Gacha games usually don't stick around that long. So it just hurts when like a gacha game is around for so long, and then one day out of the blue, the company decides to just axe it, and that's it. They hit you with a heavy heart. We announced that we're shutting this down. Blah blah blah. They never say anything about keeping it offline. Kind of like how, which I respect Bandai Namco for doing this. It's like how when Sword Art, actually I'll just look this up. When Sword Art Online went offline, which is really, I don't know where this recording cut off. If it cut off like all of Dokkan, I'm going to be angry. Anyway, what I was saying before this stopped recording was Figure in Order has also been around for a very long time, even though it has like a really bad gacha system. I should know because I play it every now and then, and the rates are really bad. But that's besides the point. This game's been around for a very long time, and it can be considered the granddaddy, one of the granddaddies of gacha game since it has been around since 2017 and it's still standing. A lot of gacha games don't make it 6 years. Okay, a lot of them, they don't make it out the mud, if you will. They don't make it out the hood. They just they try to do a rap career. Their career bangs for like a year, and then it just goes downhill, and they get forgotten, and they get shelved. And it's kind of like what you can consider a lot of gacha games that shut down really fast. Like they're hot for a minute, some aren't, and then afterwards they retire to do whatever, or they just quit. That's a funny way to think about gacha games. I'm gonna start doing that now. Whenever I see a gacha game shut down, I'm just gonna think of like the gacha game starting a rap career, and people rocking with it for a little bit, but then afterwards they don't, and then they just retire. God, look at me inventing stuff up on the fly. But anyway, it's been around for a very long time, and yeah, it's seen a lot of things fall in its lifetime. And another thing too, like especially if you shut down a gacha game like during like the peak of its career, just make an offline version. Like for an example, we'll just use this one as an example. For an example, like Dragalia Lost. This hurts that they still have their website up. Dragalia Lost came out in 2019, and it was only 2 years. Dragalia Lost, like it's been around longer than. Hold on, I'm curious because I feel like Dragalia Lost was out longer than just 2 years. When did this come out? Wow, it came out in 2018. That's crazy. Anyway, a game like Dragalia Lost, to where a lot of people loved it, and it had a really big player base, and God, I miss Dragalia Lost. Had a really big fan base, and they shut it down. A lot of people just thought, why not just do an offline version? They even did an offline version of it for a little bit before they decided to shut it down. I don't know why Nintendo just didn't keep it offline, so that way people could still play it, but this is Nintendo we're talking about. They do some questionable decision making sometimes. Like, going back to the 3DS thing, I may make a video on this, but I don't know. Even with them shutting down their eShops, like, because of them shutting down the eShop for the 3DS, like, they're creating like a really bad press, not a press, but they're giving scalpers, like people who still have like 3DS games physical, the chance to oversell like certain games. Like I know right now, if I go on like eBay right now, some 3DS games will be like $1,000, and sadly, there'll be people who spend that much to buy them because they didn't buy the 3DS games while the eShop was still here. Like, I don't know why Nintendo just didn't just make the eShop go offline, but yet make it to where you can still go on there to buy stuff. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know what's going on in their heads when they were doing that, but yeah, games just look. The moral of the story is, mobile games that have been around for a long time should just get an offline version, like how SAO made a offline version of their game. I have like two more examples, or two more things to talk about this, and then we'll be out of here. Another game, Grand Blue Fantasy. This game has been around for 9 years. I know it's been around for 9 years because I'm currently playing it, and they're celebrating their 9th year anniversary. Very long time. A very long time for a gacha game. Grand Blue's like a gacha game slash PC game, but you know what I mean. You can play it on your phone, so I consider it a gacha game. It's been around for a very long time. But they're really bad rates because Grand Blue has bad rates. Like, They have really bad rates, but it's still been around for a long time, and it would suck if out of the blue their side games like, oh man, we're gonna shut down Grand Blue Fantasy, no offline version, thank you for playing, and that's the end of the story. Like, no, just make an offline version of it. Do it somehow to where, I don't know, like, I don't know. Do it for like everyone has all the characters or something. I should mention too. Sword Art Online with their offline version, they have a thing to where you have like a set amount of characters. I think you have Kirito, Eugene, Yuna, Azuna, Yuki, and some other characters. So just do that. Just give everyone whatever amount of characters and just let them be able to play it offline. Like, especially because all of these games make a lot of money. So it should not be difficult for them to do that. Or just like shut down the shops and all that stuff, and summons, maybe have the summons be replaced with like something else if you want to still keep that there until you get all the characters, and then you can't do it anymore. I don't know. But yeah, these games make a lot of money, so they should be able to just make a separate version of this and just do it that way, so that way people can still enjoy the game for years to come, and that way it's like the future generation can too. Like, I don't know why they don't do this. And I guess, like I was saying earlier with like the update thingy, it would suck for iPhone users because as the phones update, you can't play like certain games that aren't supported. So that would suck, because like even like right now, if I wanted to try to play Tales of Link on my iPhone, I couldn't because it's not supported with iOS, whatever iOS on. But with Android, you can just look up the APK of it and do it that way. No, it wouldn't work if the game is like gone, but I'm sure there are some ways around that. Okay. I have one more example, or not example, but I have one more thing to talk about, and that is Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. This game came out in 2017, and it has been around since. It's still you can still play this. Oh wow, spoilers! I'm showing all the characters. I've shown all the characters that are in here. No, okay. Once again, Dissidia kind of has a simple combat system. So you have like a certain amount of times you can use an attack. The more you upgrade your characters, this instead of just doing brave damage, which is the thing up here, it does HP damage, and when your enemy's low enough, you can kill them. Very simple, but it's very fun. I don't play Dissidia as much as I used to, because before I would play that non-stop, and now I'm kind of taking a step back. I've probably played it too much to the point to where it's like I can't play it as much as I used to. But yeah, this game has been around. They've reinvented the wheelhouse somewhat. They just added more stuff. But yeah, no, like all these games make a lot of money. There's a reason why they're still around to this day. They make a lot of money. The fan base is really not fan base. The player base is big for it, and so that's why they're still around to this day. And once again, like I said with all of these, when Dissidia eventually shuts down, they should make an offline version so that way people can still play this game from beginning to end, and then uninstall it or whatever they're gonna do with it. So yeah, I still don't understand why gacha games, like companies, don't think about it that way. Like, wow, people really love this game. They're showing support for it when it shuts down. Wow, we should make an offline version of it instead of just throwing it away, essentially. But I don't know. My thoughts could be wrong. People could just think like, once a game makes this graceful exit, then it just should stay offline. yeah, I don't think I have any more examples of games that have been around for a long time that should get an offline version. I mean, like I've said throughout this video, any game that's been around for like 4 to 5 years, whenever they do decide to close it, just make an offline version. Like even with, never mind, I think I have another example. Even with Record Keeper, that'd be so funny if my video was the first one to pop up. Like even with Record Keeper, this game was around since 2014. With 2014, that, God, Record Keeper was around since 2014. This is a very long time. That's 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's 7 years. This game's been around for 7 years. I would have loved for them to give it an offline version, but for some reason they didn't, even though the game has been around for a very long time. They could have just given it an offline version, so that way people can still enjoy the game in English, because I forgot that the English version shut down, but the JP version of it is still available. But maybe people don't want to play the JP version because they don't want to have to like use Google Translate to figure out what they're clicking, which I completely understand. So they should just do offline versions of mobile games. It's not that difficult. At least it shouldn't be that difficult, because if Sword Art Online can do it, any of these other companies could do it. Will they? Probably not. Will this video... Is this video pointless? Yeah, because... But, you know, I was sitting here thinking about it, with Crossroads shutting down and Tales of Australia shutting down. I just thought, gee, they should just do offline version. They should do an offline version of Tales of Australia, since it's been around for a long time. But yeah. With that being said, I think I will end the video here. Do you think that mobile games that outlast the lifespan of mobile games should get an offline version? If a mobile game you played a lot got shut down, which one would you want to come back as an offline version? I have a feeling a lot of people for this channel would say Brave Frontier, but spoiler alerts, it's already happening. Mine is always the same. Tales of Link. Love that game. Still mad they shut it down when they did, but Naruto plays in. I miss that game too. Anyway, yeah, that'll do it for this one, and I will see you all in the next video.